or to raise my allowance. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And you graduate high school at the end of the year, your allowance will be cut off.
Oh no.
You're going to have to work a job for
No.
2 jobs.
I don't know why y'all clapping. No.
Because I can't do it.
That's not gonna happen, bro.
Because I think this is funny. Like, I'm not even that big of an issue. The issue is sitting right there.
But why? I'm not asking about her.
Ma, I want these. They're only $200.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. They're too expensive. We have bills to pay.
You never get me anything I want. This is exactly why I wanted to live with Dad.
Please, lower your voice.
No, you're like the stupidest, most selfish mom ever.
I don't know who you teenagers think you are talking to adults like that. I don't know who you think you are or who you thought you was, but that's not okay. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kid Kyrie, man. You guys already know we rockin', man. Today I kind of wanted to address something that I don't really speak enough about. I wanted to be able to change our way of thinking and change the dynamic of as teenagers. Now, here's the thing. I'm 19 years old. I'm the oldest out of 7 kids, and I grew up with 2 loving parents that I truly am thankful for and blessed. I've seen a lot, and I've seen different things happen with teenagers, man. And truly, I'm really not afraid to say something. I'm not afraid to say something and stand up for what I believe in. As far as growing up, that's always been one of the things that I always stuck by, is you always supposed to stand up for what you believe in. Because when I was younger, I was always scared, and I was always timid of, of other people's opinions and how others portrayed me as and things like that. So as I got older, I was always able to grow with a different mindset and grow with different things that, it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to, be authentic, and it's okay to do what you do and have the mindset that you want to have. So that's what helped me be the person I am today. But I just really wanted to say something that I cannot stand. I wanted to say a few things that I kind of just really wanted to speak about. And again, like I said, I seen this firsthand. I seen how people talk. I see how teenagers talk to their parents. I've seen it, how they talk to elders, how they talk to their teachers, how they talk to, I seen how they just talk to older people in general. It's not okay. I'm not saying every teenager does it, but from what I've seen, people in general, I've seen it. Like I've literally seen it firsthand. I'm not happy with it because I don't know how I'm not gonna bash any teenager on how they was raised, because some people have been, abandoned. Some people have been, just thrown off to the side. Some teenagers are even orphans. Some only have one parent. And I'm not gonna bash on that again. I'm not gonna bash on that. However, I am going to address something that needs to be said to every teenager, because this is not okay. You have zero right to be spoiled. Meaning, you have no ability, no way, you don't have nothing. You have no right to talk to any parent, elder, teacher in any inappropriate way. Now, I'm not saying that if a teacher or an elder is being disrespectful to you, okay, cool, stand up for yourself. Don't let that slide. You cannot talk to an elder a certain way. Just because you having a bad day and an elder is asking you how your day was, you're over there giving them an attitude like, my day was good. No, bro, that ain't right, bro. That's not okay. It pisses me off because I don't know who you teenagers think you are talking to adults like that. Like, bruh, you cannot talk to any adult like that. You are not like that at all. I don't know who you think you are or who you thought you was, but that's not okay. Especially from my household, the parents that I grew up with, man, they'll pop you in an instant second, bruh. Like, that ain't no joke. You don't talk to nobody like that. Who do you think you are? I want teenagers to know that you have to be respectful, okay? It doesn't matter, if something's going right or something's going wrong. You have to be respectful. You're the young one still, and they're still older than you, so you have to have a certain respect for them. Okay, so that's something that you always got to keep in mind. How any situation is, you be respectful. That's how my parents raised me. Always be respectful. Yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, type stuff, you know what I mean? So always keep that in mind. So here's another thing. too many times I think teenagers, we aren't locked in, meaning that, the mistakes and things that we go through, we're not really learning from it, you know what I mean? There's a principle that, I've always stuck by. It's called LLE, which is listen, learn, and execute. Growing up, I always have my dad. My dad was my first ever mentor. Like, I love being around my dad, and I still do to this day. Dad, if you're watching this, I love you and I appreciate you. Growing up, I always learned from my dad. I always had that type of, that leadership of how a man is supposed to be, and a representation of who a husband is and how you raise a kid and things like that. So, I was always able to learn from this guy. He always gave me stories about the things that he wished he could have did better on, the things that, the mistakes that he wished that he didn't make when he was my age. And, he's always constantly giving me stories on how to better myself, and he could have bettered himself at my age, and the ability of learning, and, the ability of becoming who you are. Being able to listen to him is always something that I've stuck by as well. And the mentors and the people that I've had in my life, I'm still able to listen to what they're saying, and truly understand, the next move, and understand how to operate in life, and, see the things that they're seeing, in their perspective and in my perspective. Listening is the most important thing, because it's giving you two different perspectives. It's giving you yours, and it's giving you that person's perspective. And then sometimes if you don't agree with it, talk to them. As long as you're listening at, the mistakes that they made, learn from it. At the end of the day, it's going to make it easier for yourself, and it's going to make it easier when you see that situation happen in your life. It's like, he made that mistake back in his time. Why would I want to make that? Don't do that. That's not okay. Don't do it. Like, having older people is a cheat code. Like, I don't understand why people don't like to listen to older people. I don't think teenagers understand this either. Our elders were teenagers too, man. Like, why don't you want to learn from them? Why wouldn't you want to see the things that they've been through so you cannot do it? Like, little things like that make me, like, excited to learn about people, man. Like, you gotta see our older elders, like our elder elders, like the people that are, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, stuff like that. They were teenagers too. You gotta understand, they've been through some crap too. So, like, it's fun to me. It's very fun learning from them, and, like, laughing about this situation, seeing how they overcame it and things like that. As teenagers, we gotta get into that mindset where it's like, okay, let's learn and let's get it. Learning is also being able to learn from your own mistakes, It's okay to have certain things happen in your life, but as long as you don't make the same mistake twice, that's when you're truly learning. You're not trying to make the same mistake. That's the best thing you can do. But when you're learning, you always gotta think on the other side, like, what is the thing that I can improve on? What is the thing that, what is the thing about myself what are my flaws? Like, what are my biggest flaws? What do I get pissed off about more than anything else? What is my fears? What is who I am? Like, you gotta think about those type of questions and really study yourself. That's really important, especially as a teenager, because this is the time, as a teenager, this is the time to really grind. Like, this is the time to, figure out who you are, figure out the plan that you want to do. This is the time to figure out your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, just everything. And there's no rush, because you're not paying any bills. You're only going to school, really, and you're probably working a job, or you're probably an athlete, but this is the time to really build your character and build who you are, build your reputation. Start early. That's one of the things that my parents always taught me, especially my dad. My dad always taught me, work hard now and play later. Be as early as possible. Like I said, there's no time rush, but at the end of the day, when you figure out who you are, you're gonna know the things that you want to do, and you're gonna be a step ahead of the plans that, of how things go. And now being able to execute, you listen to your elders, and you're learning from your own mistakes, you're learning from their mistakes, but now it's all a matter of executing the plan that you want to do, executing the plan that God has for you. I can always, stand back on this. There was a time during my sophomore year, I was going through a rough time, and I remember there was a time where I wanted to quit basketball. I'm always going to keep it 100% with y'all. There was a time where I didn't want to quit basketball. I didn't want to be around anybody. I just wanted to be completely isolated. again, learning from my dad and learning from my mentors, sometimes the devil will work in isolation, and he's gonna make you think of all these bad thoughts. He's gonna make you think of all these things where everything is just gonna go wrong for the rest of your life, and that's not the case at all. Here's the thing: isolation is great though. You sometimes in life you're going to need isolation, like you're going to need time by yourself, and that's not a problem. Use it to your benefit. Let God build you in silence. Sometimes you're just gonna need to be isolated from somebody. Sometimes you're gonna need to listen to motivational videos by yourself. Sometimes you're gonna need to just read in a room, be in a room for 3 hours by yourself and just read and, you know, just think of thoughts. Write down everything on a piece of paper. See how you're thinking. You know, that's why I really stress about teenagers really studying themselves and trying to figure out who they are, figure out the identity that God has for you. At the end of the day, I took that time to study who I am, build my character. You know what I mean? So that's very important. I'm not afraid to speak something that, you know, that God has for me, man. Like, it's, you know, just go after it. The most important thing that I want you guys to take out of this as well is being authentic. I've seen a quote on Instagram, and it said, "You wanting to be someone else is a waste of a person of who you are." That quote really stuck out to me, because if you never, just imagine if you never took time to really study yourself and to take time to really figure out, you gotta understand, the richest people spend money on personal development. Like, you really, like, if you don't believe me, go do your homework. You gotta see, like, LeBron James spent $1.3 million on personal development. Denzel Washington has his own personal coach. Building your character, especially while you're young. Some of y'all wouldn't spend $15 on a book, but majority of y'all would spend $250 on a pair of shoes, or, you know, you spend money on a Louis Vuitton belt or a Supreme headband, like little things like that, bro. Like, come on. Sometimes you may feel like our parents don't understand us. Our parents may not see everything that we're going through personally, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out yourself. Even if you don't really want to address it to nobody, you still need to figure out a different way to maneuver through that. You may be going through something that's really personal. You may be going through a personal addiction. You may be going through something, you know, that's just hard to get through. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, like, God has his hand on you. God has his hand on you. Like, God will never leave you or forsake you at all. He will never leave you in the darkness, and he'll never put you through a situation where you cannot handle it. I just want you guys to really be authentic and be who you are. Don't follow everybody else's footsteps. Be who you are, and people are going to be attracted to you. You got to remember that. Being authentic means being who you are and discovering your identity. Some people are not going to like you. Man, I'm going to tell y'all, like, I hate getting unfollowed on Instagram. When I see it, I'm like, bro, why you have to unfollow me? Like, what did I do to unfollow? Like, what did I do to make you unfollow me, bro? Like, what did I do wrong? But at the end of the day, not everybody's going to like you. The Bible says, if possible, live peaceably with everybody. But the truth of the matter is, not everybody is determined to like you. So at the end of the day, you got to be determined not to care. There's too many other people and too many loving people, especially in my life, that are to help me and to boost me. There's too many people like that. As teenagers, at the end of the day, there's no time rush. I'm not rushing y'all. I'm not, you know, doing anything like that. You figure out and you take time to build yourself, to let God use you, and to, you know, see the things that you want to do in life. Take this time to get ahead of the game. Try and get ahead of the game. You know, take the time to study some people. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure you can send me a message. I'm not Hollywood at all, so you can definitely just send me a quick message. I'm trying to help everybody out as much as possible. I'll see you guys on the next one. Kid Kyrie, man. I'm out, bro.